Well, what's up guys? Thank you for clicking on the video. So I know I said I'm gonna do, oh, my camera's falling. In this one, we're preparing for a track day. I've missed 2 autocrosses that I've prepaid for because I've been obviously busy with everything headlights and developing new things. This camera is sitting on top of the hooptiest Firebird you've ever seen because I'm trying to potentially provide a kit for those guys. I get so many emails because the Corvette headlight kit, they want it for the 4th gen late model Trans Am, so like the later facelift version. So that's what this is sitting on. But I have signed up for a track day, and this car needed some setup. As you can see, the Volks are off, and I have another video about the Volks, the fitment, basically what I'm going to be doing with that. But in the autocross video that I last had with this, you could see that I had a lot of oversteer. The car was fun to drive, but not very quick, just due to an inability to put down power off the corner. So I have put these wheels back on, and so we're going to go through what I've done here. We're going to kind of do a lithium battery. I'm going to try and get that secured. We're going to address a breather setup because I was having some oil smoke on D-cell, and we're going to talk about a little bit of setup stuff. It's not going to be as complete as I wanted, but it's something, and I hope you stick around to watch the video. You're watching KnightDriveTV.
I always wanted to build fast cars, so self-taught I started with engine swaps, composites in my apartment, to multiple shops, tuning, fabrication, and more. 10 years later, the big time, SEMA, Speed TV, I climbed from nothing, but I lost it all. This is my new ride, KnightDriveTV.
Night drivers and drivettes.
Okay, so what I'm going to start with is I want to smart string this thing all up and kind of do all this, but because I've never done a setup in this garage before, I want to really kind of just determine what I'm working with in terms of the lift and the level state of the lift and stuff like that. So corner balancing and all those things kind of has to do with that. I may have to use shims or tiles or something like that to try and get my setup really to where I want it to be before I make a video about it. So in that that is the case. Basically what I'm going to do is, the track day is tomorrow. I've already missed 2 different like track type of situations, and I don't want to miss any more. Just with the quick time that I had these on the back of the car, you can see how much I'm losing here. So had way too much camber in the back. The smart camber gauge, as you can see here, I have calibrated this to the lift. So basically the surface that the car is sitting on is zeroed out, and so that's simulating the ground, and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of get it close. Okay, so we're just making a quick adjustment to the single rears here, and we're just going to get that in place and lock these down and move on to the next thing here. Okay, so we're putting our posts in place, and we've got 1.6 degrees here. There, we got them all set and tightened. To put a little paint mark just to hope they don't move. I really want the AMT Motorsports ones in there, but I don't know. I just feel like I have a lot to do, so I'm not throwing them in there right now. Yeah, so we have had some explosion here. This thing definitely saw its end, so I'm going to take this out. I'm going to try and get this lithium in here and get it secured one way or another. Alright, my main camera died, so I'm going to have to resort to GoPro for a little bit here, but I guess I'm going to try and clean up some of this. This is just, seems like glass mat material. It's no big deal. Some people will be, I'm very thankful to have a 3-car garage here in Vegas, but I'm just so used to the east part of this country to where I've had huge shops, 12,000 square feet, 5,000, even 3,000. It's fantastic. Cannot get that here for anything reasonable, and so growing this deal is proving difficult. But see what we do here with this. We have this anti-gravity lithium, so I kind of stick this in here. Wondering how to get it secure is going to be the key. Good thing with the lithiums is you can orient them any way you want. So the key concern here is coming from these type of motorcycle style connectors to this side post setup like these cars have. So I've gotten something. I don't know if it's going to work. I hope it does. Just set up here. Let me go ahead and get this out. It's looks about half-ass. Alright, so I relief cut just this area here to fit down in here. I did have to drill out the hole a little bit, but we've got the, there's like a lug that goes in there, just threads on, so seems like it should be okay. I think this is the configuration I'm going because they have the restart button on the front here. So if it goes down below a certain state of charge, it basically disconnects from the car. Need to come up with a solution to secure it, so that's the next step here. All right, so as a little exercise, so basically we have this space down here that I want to, there's a lip down here that obviously can attach to the back of the battery. The battery will have a lip, and then you have this this retaining piece that would normally go down in front here. So I kind of want to, obviously this doesn't have a lip for it to grab onto in the back. We don't have any kind of lip there. So some people say that a 3D printer can be like a hammer and every problem starts to look like a nail. So it's like a saying for a lot of different things, but I could see that being the case. I mean, it's probably the same if you have a CNC or if you have, you know, any type of TIG welder. You know, I worked with a hot rod guy for a while, and you know, it's not that people with those tools overcomplicate things. It's just that they see, when they visualize a build, they visualize the build based on the tools that they have and just the methods in which they do things. And I think it depends if you're a hot rod guy and you're building like 32 Fords or something like that, you know, you're going to kind of match the vehicle in terms of how you fabricate and how you do things. You're going to kind of make a bracket or something kind of fit that, you know, that environment. That's where I had the conflict with the hot rod guy. His approach to things was just a lot different than how my mind worked, because I had worked on a lot more modern cars. So, you know, everything I wanted to do kind of wanted to take on this modern manufacturing appearance, as to where his stuff was like more vintage and old. So he hated my guts, you know. So but anyway, another good thing about it is it gives me an opportunity to see, you know, how good my like rapid prototyping, so to speak, my ability to kind of take a look at something, take some measurements and put it in CAD and then spit out something that will actually fit and actually work in a reasonable amount of time. Obviously the time that it would take me to fabricate this from, say, metal or steel, or, you know, some people make this out of wood. It just depends on what their skill set is and what they feel comfortable with. Obviously I could fabricate things out of steel, but you know, 3D printing and things like that, there's a cleanliness to it, a simplicity to it that I like. I can sit in my computer in the air conditioning. I can spend the time that I would spend out here grinding and TIG welding and sweating or whatever. I can sit in there and design it. And both of them have challenges, you know, in terms of fitment and doing a lot of measuring. So you're kind of doing the same measuring, you're just applying it in two different realms. So basically what I did here, and this is just how I want to be able to kind of do quick and dirty. So this hole is very important to the distance across. I couldn't get certain measuring tools in there, and I want to be able to catch that lip down there. So basically the width of this under the lip meets that hole. I'm going to have the height of this, which is what I'm going to want to have on this side, and then obviously I have the battery and then some area of standoff. So I believe through just measuring this, looking at this here piece of paper, and then kind of measuring this real quickly, I should be able to come up with a bracket that's customized, that looks the part. Like I said, I think it's just a good exercise, so let's go ahead and do that now. Just going to make some quick markings here, which is going to be our width, and then I'm going to measure here, probably notate that on the paper. Okay, so here's the finished install. I used a little bit of foam. I purposely did leave a little extra height clearance. Yeah, but as you can see, she ain't going anywhere. I'm going to tighten up these moved a little bit as I was maneuvering everything in here, but I did offset it because the start button is down there. I probably need to do some type of clearancing in the front so that I can access that, but I'll make another one. But definitely, you know, this will pass tech. This is not going anywhere. If you watched the other video with the autocross, you remember I was getting some smoke under D-cell. I remembered back to 2017 when I pulled the supercharger off of this and went back naturally aspirated. I was kind of in a scramble because I was losing my building because the hose configuration for basically the PCV system and everything was different. I had capped some things off with the intent to kind of put it back to stock and kind of forgot about that. So that is hopefully the cause. So I've obtained the PCV here, and I'm going to go ahead and put the I think it's a Lead Engineering catch can on, and hopefully that will solve the problem. So, you know, obviously when you go into D-cell, create a vacuum by the valves, you can pull past the valve seals. A couple different things can happen. So hopefully I don't have valve seal problems, but I do have another set of valve springs and valve seals. I'm going to probably go to that kind of extent maybe if I need to, but let's go ahead and throw the catch can in. Nothing major, a couple of hoses, just mount it, pretty simple. All right, this is the Lead Engineering catch can. The catch to this is that while it's mounted and installed, you can basically unscrew the bottom and remove whatever oil accumulates. It's baffled inside, so basically it's just sending whatever blow-by there is through some probably some type of steel wool or steel mesh baffling, and then just trickles down into here, and then obviously it sends back the filtered air with the oil vapor removed, and it settles down in here. Seems like a good piece, seems simple enough. It is. The only thing I'm not a fan of is it's extremely heavy, and you know, I don't like adding weight to the front of the car, especially hanging off the front of the motor. Obviously, it's not. People are going to say, "Oh, it's a pound. It's not a big deal," but you know, I mean, you have to make these things important. Otherwise, you put 20 pounds on the front of your car. So, that being said, basically, it just comes with a simple bracket that mounts to the front of the head. But I don't have. I will have to look and see if I have bolts for the front of the head. That's kind of, I'm just going to say it's kind of disappointing to not be supplied with the bolts to mount it. I think if I sold the kit, that's what I would do, but, you know, whatever. It's supposed to come with basically like an adapter for this hose for the Z06 style to go in here, attach the hose with 2 clamps. Didn't come with that. So, I don't know, it's missing like a few things. My opinion, I tell you right now, I mean, I've fabricated a lot of breather systems when I built forced induction systems for cars, and this is like just, I mean, I'll be real, this is like out of China, clearly. Not that Chinese products can't be good. I mean, I think you just have to give people what they need to install it correctly. So, it's so heavy, you know? I mean, it's just unnecessarily heavy. And I guess I got to go to Home Depot and buy all the stuff I need to actually install it, so that's what I'm going to do. I've definitely done some reading, and so obviously they should have sent me a straight fitting here. They didn't send any of the button head screws, I guess as they refer to them, for the block. And they also didn't send the adapter for the PCV. So you're talking about 2 bolts, 2 washers, 1 straight fitting, and then some type of adapter for the PCV. So, you know, I'm just going to say that's pretty substantial. And, you know, 1 bolt, 1 screw, something small is one thing, maybe a packaging error, but, I mean, I can't imagine. I don't know how that happened, but, so I was able to go to Home Depot. I could not source another, straight fitting. They didn't have any in stock that size. So I'm going to have to go with this angled fitting and just bend my tubing and whatnot. The instructions did say to Teflon tape those fittings, so that's fine that I did that. It also says on the diffuser area to put on some Loctite, so we're just going to get it put in the way it is. Hopefully my bolts fit and everything that I picked up, so I spent an extra 10 bucks. I'm going to reach out to them at some point. I'll let you know in a future video how that plays out, but It does say in the directions that I did find to put Loctite on this. Luckily I even checked it because actually it was pretty loose, so definitely check that if you put it in. Obviously they mention it. I think it's something that, based upon my headlights and the extensive directions that I give for everything, details like this, man, I can't imagine how many people are missing these details. This is something that I would probably do myself prior to shipment, but I'm imagining these are coming straight from China and right into a box of some sort. So I've put the blue Loctite on that, so we'll do that. This apparently is for LS3s, so I don't use this. So clearly they're packaging for multiple vehicles in one package. Camaro seems to be quite different. Camaro comes with two of these angles though. So and Corvette seems to come with one angle and one straight. So I don't know. I've got Corvette LS3 type components. I don't have the Camaro adapter, but I have Camaro fittings. I don't know. So that's that. We're going to go ahead and get it thrown in the car. I'm going to check my bolts. So I also picked up this kind of double barb adapter. This should make my PCV work. You have some variances between LS1, early LS3, and 2004, excuse me, LS1 or LS6, with the exemption of the 2004 LS6. They changed this PCV system a number of times, so you have to definitely look to see what's specific to your car. In my case, I have an 02, so some people believe this acts as a PCV. It actually does not. The 04 is the only one that appears to do that, so in my case, I need to still have the PCV valve in place, and then these are the two in question that we're going to connect to the can, so I'm going to do that now. And then as you see, I have this one plugged and I have that plugged over there, which I'm going to reconnect. Alright, so this is what we have here. It's that bend, the radius is holding, so got the PCV back in line. Yeah, just ran this back straight. I remember when I was supercharged, I had a breather set up and I forgot to reconnect that, so we're definitely holding some pressure potentially in here. So, you know, you want to supply clean air that way and then recirc through the valley cover and whatnot. So that's what I'm hoping, that all my D-cell smoke will be gone. We'll see. If not, maybe we gotta look at valve seals or something like that. All right, so we have, obviously, since I pulled the camber so much, we got a pretty big toe in. So after some debate, I'm just going to go ahead and throw these on, and I'm going to relocate the bars down to the lower position and just do a quick and dirty kind of tape measurement between the front and the rear to get this toe close. I want to set up the strings, but I'm just running out of time, and just setting that up is too much. It's just too time consuming. So all right, so got them all settled in on the plates, lowered the bars. So they have these little feet that kind of create friction because these are real low friction ball, like bearings, and so it'll slide right off the lift. Obviously, it's a little better when you got tires up there to keep it from rotating, but when you got all four, ooh, it can get sketchy quick. Yeah, this is one of the only issues with the feather lights is the room between this coil spring and the jam nut is so close. It's almost touching, but it's not quite. And it's just, man, it was tough. Got them loose. Gonna hang up the tape measures and get them adjusted, and we'll be close enough. So I was on the phone and I really couldn't cover the adjustments, but this was way out. I had like an inch of toe in from the camber adjustment, and so right now I'm like at a 1/16. And everything's even. I actually checked it here this way, then I checked directly from here just to that inner flange there on both sides to be sure I'm not like dog-legged or something like that. So I usually use the strings. I don't usually do it this way, but it's all squared up. I'm actually fast forwarded a little bit. I'm closing this video up as I'm editing it, but yeah, the next episode here, which I'm going to have out just pretty immediately, was going to the track day. Car did fantastically well, but we still have some issues, so you'll see that in the next video. And there's gonna be a lot of changes happening here on the channel. If you followed, I've got to make some real decisions on how to run things with the channel and where to go from here. Obviously, it's a lot of time making videos and doing things, and I probably need to focus a little bit more on what's more effective. So I'm going to talk about some things in an upcoming video, just kind of about the channel if you followed along. But obviously been making videos on this particular channel for about 2 years, and gotten up to about 13,000 or so. And in terms of subs, I'm about 1.2, 1.3 million views. But you know, obviously it's a lot of time. It's a great hobby, and I really enjoy the videos. But inevitably, you know, you look at things and you're like, you know, if I'm going to continue to do something, I have to do something as effective as possible. And so, you know, there are changes and decisions you have to make. I like this kind of content. I know this video wasn't the most action-packed or even the most detailed, and I kind of just went through following along what I was doing. And so, you know, I think I'm going to really be looking at how to maybe package more videos and content just focused on working on the cars, doing builds, and then going and kind of functionally showing the performances and results of those changes or whatever I'm doing to any vehicle. But you know, the fact is the business and everything that has resulted from KnightDriveTV and from the channel, and then obviously the parts that I've made for the C5 that I have even more coming out. I have the C4, I have the C6, and you know, I really want to focus more on a total platform coverage of C4, 5, and 6. And because I think those are really, man, these are just the best group of cars right now to buy and modify and drift. And I have another video coming on LS Fest here, which I just went to yesterday. I missed it, so right now I'm editing this, and what you're watching this video happened about 2 weeks ago. So I have some videos coming, but just, man, C5s and C6s are just killing it. They are just they're crushing. You know, they're crushing the drift world. They're crushing the autocross. I mean, they're just in such a good zone of cost and performance and capability and lightweight, and they just have such a balance. It's just it's a great car. And so you know, having the C4, I want to do a lot with that. I want to do an engine build on here. I think I'm just really going to consolidate this down into a channel more of pure function. So I will always cover SEMA and things like that. I'm going to throw this LS Fest video up, but you know, throw me a suggestion below if you're still with me. I mean, what do you think's really potent? What do you want to see? And you know, I'm just I think it's about efficiency for me. These videos in the garage are very cut and dry in terms of edit. When I do these off-road videos or these big lavish trip videos and stuff, you know, there's so much edit time in it, and I really just don't think it brings a ton of value. So, at least at the size my channel is now. So yeah, lots coming, and I'm always thinking about a lot of things. If you follow the channel, I'm always looking at some metrics, some analysis, always looking for opportunities to pivot, change direction, maximize what I'm doing. So yeah, let's get to the next video. I'll have that one out very shortly if you're watching this one, and that one will be out. And we went to this track day. It was a big scramble with my trailer and everything, but yeah, I'm gonna start covering more details of a lot of different things. So hope you stick around, guys. Thanks for watching KnightDriveTV.